guys, it's Lauren with Sweet Home Sewing, and this video we are going to be working on the Scrappy Americana flag. So I'm going to do this a little bit different. I am only going to show one little block at a time. So I went ahead and did the first blocks on page 2, which was just a simple 4-patch. Those are simple, and I'm not cutting on camera, so just FYI. I decided to do the 4-patch because I think everybody knows how to do a 4-patch. It's simple, it's easy, it's whatever. I got those in. So the low volume and the red are done. Next is the Pinwheel block. I got all of my low volume done, and then I did half of my red. I'm going to do the other half on camera. So what I'm thinking about doing is showing you, just kind of telling you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to fast forward it. And then when I go to trim, I'll show you kind of what to do, then I'll fast forward it, all of that. Because a lot of these blocks are simple blocks, and a lot of them, a lot of people already know. So, and I'm only going to show just a few of them on each block. So this video is going to be the Pinwheel block. The next video will be the diagonal stripe block. Then we'll have the broken dishes block. Then they call it a large triangle, which is a half square triangle. Then the double flying geese block. Okay, I'm also going to change something up here. For the mini flying geese blocks, I'm going to do the red mini flying geese, which look like this. But the low volume, and I'm showing you this side because these are not the correct measurements, but the low volume I am not doing, because when you go to look into the quilt, like when you're looking at the front of the quilt, hold on guys, okay, you cannot see them in here at all. The blocks that stood out to me were the Pinwheel blocks and then the square and the square. You can see them in the red, so I'm going to keep those. What I think I'm going to do instead is do 3 more Pinwheel blocks and 3 more square and a square blocks. You honestly, I mean, when you look at this, you cannot even see the flying geese in that. So my thing is why do all that work when you can't see them? This is my way of making it my own. You can do whatever you want to. You don't even have to do all these blocks. You can just do all the squares to do the strips and make them all scrappy. I like the different blocks in here, but when it comes to the low volume, those flying geese, you can't even really see them. But like I said, the square and the square and the Pinwheel blocks are the ones you see most. And honestly, I'm even questioning doing the regular flying geese because you can barely, where is it at? Here, there's one here. You can barely even see them. So I don't even know if I'm going to do the double flying geese in the low volume. I may do a couple of other blocks. I may do like a couple more half square triangles. I may do more Pinwheel blocks in square and the square, honestly. I like the square and the square, and I love the Pinwheel. Pinwheel, of course, is my favorite. I love Pinwheel blocks. But I think I may do, so that means I'll probably do 6 more Pinwheels and 6 more square and the square of low volume. And because I don't see putting all the work in to these blocks when you're not going to see them. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because you're supposed to make 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only see 5. So I don't know if I'm going to do those in the low volume. My low volume I may keep. I may do the big flying geese. I may keep the big flying geese. We'll come to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay. So anyways, then we'll have a video of the mini flying geese. Then we'll have a video of the square and the square, and then I'll do the video of the blue star blocks. And then I'll do the video showing it all together. I want to video this because that's why my husband got this. One of the reasons why he got this, so I could video it for y'all. So anyways, this is kind of what you can see, all the different blocks. We will have some low volume and reds that are going to be just plain, but you can see the mixture of all the different blocks in here. So anyways, I also on here I will tell you, on the 4-patch, it tells you to do strip piecing and then cut out, kind of like what I did for the gingham, the table runner. I did not do strip piecing. I cut my squares out at the size they needed to be cut out, and I just made 4 patches because of the fact that I don't have with the fabric. I only have fat quarters. So I need to pull my other layer cake out too. I need to keep forgetting that. But I just pieced these. They didn't even really need to be trimmed either, because that's why you see a bunch of thread, because they came out almost pretty much exactly. They might have been just a hair bigger, but there's no point of cutting all that off. But I did not strip piece. I also made sure, because these are kind of like a directional pattern just a little bit. I mean, they could have gone this way or this way, but I made sure all of them were going up and down. So that way, now when I put them in my quilt, I may want to change them up. It depends. But in all my blocks, I made sure they were going the same direction. But, and then of course, here's my low volume. I don't really have much of that left, because I use that in this block and the Pinwheel block per the pattern. So they didn't take me no time to make. They did talk about press and open. I didn't press open on these. I pressed towards one side. It's just easier. My low volume blocks, I did press open on all my seams, as you can see. That way the bulk, especially right here, is not very much at all, but it's all nice and pressed open. And I did not put any starch on there when I pressed. It was all just steam. So same thing with my reds, all open seams. I've not been crazy about open seams, but I do love that there's not much bulk. So anyways, so that is kind of like what I have in mind for y'all to do, or what I'm going to do. So this video is going to be the Pinwheel block. I'm going to try, normally the Pinwheel, it won't be this long because I'm already at 7 minutes, because I've been, you know, yapping your ears out, you know, just talking your head off. So normally the videos won't all be that. I'm gonna try to keep the videos pretty short for y'all, because like I said, they're pretty easy blocks. I may not even do a video unless y'all want me to on the half square triangle. Excuse me. Unless y'all want me to, just for the fact that it's just a half square triangle. So anyways, so let me get everything turned on and I will meet y'all at the machine. Okay, y'all, tell me if you like this angle a little bit better. It's a little bit higher, that way y'all can kind of look down and not so much even, because I noticed it was a little hard sometimes to see when it was even, because my hands get in the way. So I'm trying to make it sure that y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, so for all of these, y'all know I don't like to just draw. You can just draw a line corner to corner and then sew on a 1/4 inch away from each of them. I don't like doing that, because I'm always scared I'm going to mess up or forget. So for me personally, because I am very forgetful, I put my where's my ruler? I put my ruler what I do is right here I have a 1/4 inch line on my ruler, if y'all can see that. Okay, I put that line right there on the middle. Make sure my line goes and touches that, and then I draw my line. I turn it over and I do the same thing. And if you did it correctly, this line right here, or the 6, 5, 4, that'll line up perfectly with your draw line, and then you draw another line. That's how I do mine. So I know some people just draw a line in the middle and so on a 1/4 inch, but me, I get sidetracked so easy, and my mind starts wandering, and I will forget where I'm supposed to sew. So that's just a little disclaimer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew on each of these lines, and you'll see me sew. I'm going to chain stitch, I'll sew, cut them all, and then chain stitch them again, and then that's where I will tell you what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to start fast forwarding here, because all I'm doing is sewing on each of these lines. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do all one first. I'm going to chain stitch and do all one side, cut them apart, turn them around, and then I'm going to chain stitch all the other side. So here we go. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to cut these all apart. And now we're going to cut these in half. So I hope y'all can see me. Put it right here so y'all can see me. So I just line up my stitch line with my that same 1/4 inch that I put right here in the middle. I'm going to lay it on my stitch line. And then we're just going to cut them in half. Okay, now I'm going to press all of these open, and then I'm going to meet y'all over here at the cutting table, because then we're going to trim them up, so I'll be back. Okay guys, so now we're going to trim. Okay, so I do have the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers, but I wanted to use my regular ruler for now, because I know not a lot of people have those rulers or can't really buy one right now. So I wanted to use it's a 5.5 inch square ruler that has the diagonal on there, so this is what I'm going to use. So what I do, we have plenty of room to trim. I make sure I have room around each, because my 3 inches right here, so I'll make sure I have enough room around each side, and then I make sure my diagonal goes on the diagonal of my seam, and then I just trim. Okay. And the next time it's going to line up perfectly on your 3 and then your diagonal. Make sure all those 3 lines match up, and then just trim, and then we have a perfect 3 inch square, half square triangle. So I'm going to do the rest of these. I'm going to fast forward, and I will meet y'all back here in just a minute. Okay, so here are our half square triangles. They are perfect, and they are ready now to sew into a pinwheel. So let's go back over to the sewing machine, and we'll get this sewing. Sorry about that, guys. We have people out here working on the slab for my husband's shop, and now the working guy's here. So, okay. So, let's get these sewn. Chase, it's okay, buddy. It's okay, Bubba's. Okay, so y'all probably won't be able to hear all the barking once I mute it, but we're going to go ahead and make our pinwheel block. So whatever size you want, I'm making sure that all the blocks, the certain fabric is facing up, and then it's going to be facing down on all of them, and it'll work out that way. So all of my blocks will be faced just like this. So these flowers will be down, this one will be up, this red kind of pink will be up and then down. So let's get to sewing, and now I got messed up. Yeah. Also, with you trimming, they should line up perfect, and you can, I was pinning, but you don't have to. You can kind of make sure that they line up, but they should line up pretty well. So, Chase, buddy, it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go press these open and I will meet y'all right back here. Okay, now we're gonna pin. So as you can see, they are all gonna fit perfectly into a beautiful pinwheel. I do pin these because our seams are open. So I just make sure that those line up. And then I just stick a pin like that. Okay, I'm gonna get to pinning these and then we'll get to busy sewing. Okay, now we're just going to sew a straight stitch. I sew a scant 1/4 inch, whichever you like to, either a full scant, whatever. We're going to sew all these together and then we'll press them open. So. Okay, I'm going to go press these open and then I will meet y'all over here at the cutting table. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to trim. These need to be trimmed just a hair. And these lines do not line up perfectly, but you can't tell unless you put a ruler on there, honestly. So I just do the middle line at first. Make sure they're all okay. So now we have, and all the seams are open. So we have our 6 red and 6 white or low volume. So I have got these so far done. I wanted to tell you, I wanted to kind of, because I know this looks very intimidating if you have the pattern or you were looking to get it. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I am actually cutting, I'm only cutting blocks at a time. So like on page 2 was the 4 patch, I'm only cutting those. The pinwheel blocks, I only cut enough for that. So the next block is what? The diagonal. Those are all half square triangle blocks too. So what I'll do is I'll get the fabric out and I will cut only for that block, or those blocks, because you need, all of them you need 6 red and 6 white, or the low volume, whatever. Because these aren't really white, they're more of a antique type color. So I'm only doing page by page. I'm not looking at a whole, I'm not looking at it all together, because if you look at the whole thing all together, it's going to be very intimidating and very overwhelming, and you're going to sit here and think, how can I do this? So take it from me, I've learned to take big quilts like this that have a lot of different blocks and take them bite by bite. Just one bite at a time, one page at a time, one block at a time. So I'm doing, the next one I will be cutting for all of my diagonal stripe blocks for the low volume and the red. I'll cut all those. I separate them from, because there's only A and B on each of them. And then I will do all my low volume, and then I'll do all my red. The next one I may do my low volume, since I did a red block here. I may try to alternate them. So like I did a red block this time, my next video I probably do a low volume, and so on. So y'all can kind of see, you know, what they look like. And I'll also do only 3 blocks each. So I'll do like, I'll make 3 low volume off camera, and then I'll have 3 on camera. That way kind of helps keep the video shorter. This is going to be a bit longer just for the fact that I'm explaining everything and all of that. But let me know what y'all think. I figured this would be a good, because y'all can honestly do whatever blocks you want to on here as long as they're the same size, but these blocks really aren't hard. They're all half square triangles besides the flying geese. Those are the only blocks that aren't half square triangles. Even the stars are half square triangles and solid blocks. So you're gonna have full solid blocks mixed in with all these other different blocks. That's one thing I like about it. It's not just solid scrappy strips. There's actually patterns, like different blocks inside the strips that are scrappy. So it's pretty cool. But like I said, if you're doing this or thought about it and thought, oh, I don't know if I can do that, take it one page at a time. There is an option to do a foundation paper piecing. I'm not doing that. I do like foundation paper piecing when I can't do traditional piecing methods. To me, I think the foundation paper piecing takes a little bit longer, and I know Fat Quarter Shop sells a lot of that stuff, but I want to say it's like $80 or $90 just for the foundation paper piecing sets. I'm not doing that money when I can do it on here, and it'd probably be quicker. So that's just a little other heads up. If you want to do it, that's more power to you. I'm not. I do love foundation paper piecing, but only whenever it's one of those that it's impossible to do it without it. You know what I mean? Like those strawberry blocks and stuff that I made, what was it, last year? And I've still got some stuff to make. Those that are really tricky, that aren't really, you know, it's really hard to do it without them. Yes, these, no, you can do them traditionally. Because like I said, they're all half square triangles except the flying geese blocks. That is it. So this is a really easy, it looked more intimidating. I'm going to tell you, I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do this? Because honestly, it looked intimidating. And then when I actually got the pattern in and looked, I'm like, oh, it's not going to be hard at all. So, my husband did buy this off Amazon. It came from Amazon. I don't know who sold it because we got different Amazon accounts. But he bought the Fat Quarter bundle and all. I did buy some more yardage of the low volume yardage on Fat Quarter Shop because I only had the fat quarters each. The layer cakes don't have any low volume in there. So I did buy 3/4 of a yard each of the low volumes. Now, the reds and the blues, I doubt I'll need blues because I have those 2 layer cakes. And I'm going to pull those out when I go to cut my blues. Because you're going to need, for the blues, you're going to need 100 of one size and 200 of the other. And this is for the blue stars, blocks, and all that. For the white, the low volume star blocks, you're going to need 100 of one and 50 of the other. So, thankfully, I've got a stripology. That'll cut it down big time because I can cut several strips at a time. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it because that will be the last thing we do. But for now, we're doing the stripes, and I think it's going to be fun. So let me know what y'all think about how this goes. I'm sorry this one's a little bit longer. I'm going to try to edit it down some, but it may not be a whole lot. But you'll have to let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all are doing this quilt. I know there's some others that are doing this as well, but my husband, like I said, he bought this for me. He's like, maybe you can do a video. He was so excited. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a video. I almost didn't, but for him, I'm doing it because he found this pattern. He found the fabric, and so this is for him. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoy this series, and I will see y'all next video. Bye, guys.